Hey guys, today we're going to take a look at what I think are two of the best singles paddles on the market right now. The Honolulu Pickleball Company's J7K and J7K Pro. Both the J7K and J7K Pro are thermoformed elongated paddles, though they are actually slightly longer than most. Instead of the more common 16.5 by 7.5 dimensions, the J7K paddles are 16.6 by 7.4, so they're slightly longer but more narrow. Both the paddles have 16mm cores, and the website says they have 6-inch handles, but if you measure them, it's more like 5.5 inches. The only difference between the two is the Kevlar weave in the surface, but we'll touch more on that later. For swing weights and twist weights, we got 120 and 6.41 for the J7K, while for the J7K Pro, we got 120 and 6.40. Both of these are about average for elongated Gen 2 paddles, so the slight change in the shape dimensions didn't make this paddle different for those measurements. Now, compared to Honolulu Pickleball Company's other shapes, the J7s are in the middle in terms of swing weights and twist weights. The maneuverability of the J7s is quicker than the J5 and J1 series, but slower than the J2 and J3 series, while the twist weight is under the J2s and J3s, but higher than the J1s and J5s. Let's look at the J7K first. Honestly, this paddle is basically just an elongated version of the hybrid-shaped J2K paddle. In terms of face stiffness and pop, the two felt identical. They both have that Kevlar surface and provided a more plush feel off the face compared to carbon fiber surfaces. The differences were just from the shape. The J7K provides more power on drives and gives longer reach, while the J2K is quicker to swing and has a wider sweet spot with a more stable feel. I think that the power on the J7K is higher than most elongated Gen 2s out there, and the extra reach it provides lets you be more aggressive at taking balls out of the air as well. However, if you hit this side by side with something like a Mark II that has a more traditional elongated shape, you will notice a slightly smaller sweet spot because of the thinner shape, and shots like resets may be a bit harder to do. As for the J7K Pro, this one I felt wasn't too different from the J7K. Previously with the J2K and the J2K Pro, I found the Pro version to be noticeably more stiffer and poppier off the face, but with the J7K Pro, the difference is smaller. Compared to the J7K, the Pro version is only slightly stiffer and a tad bit more powerful, but it is noticeable. My thoughts on this are similar to that of the J7K. It's a powerful elongated paddle with a tad bit more reach, but also suffers a little bit on the horizontal sweet spot. Both the J7K and Pro are meant for an aggressive playstyle. Being able to hit strong drives on their baseline and finish off with swinging volleys and overheads is really where both of these paddles shine. I personally really like these paddles for singles, since that extra reach, although very small, can make a difference when reaching to prevent passing shots at the net. For doubles, I'm not a huge fan of the paddle, but I can see myself using it in situations where I need to be more aggressive and drive more, such as in mixed games. Overall, both the J7K and J7K Pro are very solid elongated paddles from the Honolulu Pickleball Company, and I think the subtle shape change to grant a little more reach is a really nice touch to this paddle. Like all other Gen 2 paddles I've hit, the J7K and J7K Pro both offer high levels of spin, and I wouldn't say one provided a noticeable amount more than the other. While the two paddles aren't too different from each other, I personally enjoyed the Pro version more, and found myself preferring it when playing singles. I'd recommend both if you're looking for a bit more reach and power over the J2 and J3 shapes, but are okay on missing out on some control. If you want to pick either of these paddles up, I've added my discount code here and in the video description below.